So was I.
What's up, YouTube? Five Fingers here with the Finger Bang Show. Now, you might have missed the ending here because there was a lot of things happening at once, and this thing just takes off and goes at the very end. And if I haven't said it before, please do yourself a favor and check out this movie. It is absolutely worth the watch. And this is definitely a huge spoiler warning for this movie if you have not watched it. And you really should, because otherwise some of these things might not make sense. But going into be sure to comment below because I want to talk to you guys. Maybe I missed something. Maybe you saw something that I didn't see. Be sure to leave a comment below and like and subscribe for cool free giveaways. Now, the ending really takes off after the big airport fight. There's a bit of jumping back and forth. As the first thing we get to do, we get to jump back to Zemo's former hotel in Germany where he's left. The hotel where he initially stashed that EMP and he wouldn't let the maid walk in. And we find out why the maid wasn't allowed to walk in. So it turns out Zemo's got a dead body in his bathtub. The body of the doctor who was supposed to give Bucky Barnes his initial psych evaluation. So Zemo had killed him in order to do it himself to activate the Russian sleeper code to turn him into a killer assassin. And therefore Bucky Barnes would take the blame for the UN hit and everything else. And speaking of the UN hit, it turns out we get to see that Iron Man got a message saying that Zemo had created some sort of prosthetic face that he put over himself, some sort of mask, in order to frame Bucky Barnes. So he didn't cause the UN bombing, it was Baron Zemo that caused that bombing. And I really shouldn't say Baron, he does really just go as Zemo in this, but as the comics, he's known as Baron Zemo. So Zemo has finally left his hotel and he's heading right for the facility where Bucky Barnes was born, where you see the opening shot in the movie. The reason he's going there, we think, is to activate those 5 other sleeper agents, to have his own killer squad at his disposal. He can just cause chaos anywhere in the world that he wants. Yet we're still unclear as to why. What is his motivation? Before we find out, Stark ends up going back to the Raft, his supervillain jail that he actually used to house everybody on Team Captain America. In Scarlet Witch, in Hawkeye, in Ant-Man, and in Falcon. Thunderbolt Ross is there, guards are there, they want to know where Captain went. And they're hoping Iron Man can get something out of the prisoners. Well, they would be so lucky as Iron Man turns off the audio into Sam Wilson's cell. And I just gotta say, there are so many funny scenes with Sam Wilson in this. He's definitely my favorite character in this film. What do you guys think? He just brought such an element of humor that you can't really do anywhere else. So he's by far my favorite character in this film, over anybody else. But so the audio gets turned off, so now Thunderbolt Ross can't hear what's going on. Sam tells him there's this place that he's going, and that's where Iron Man finds out about this facility that Bucky Barnes was born in. But the only catch is he has to go alone, which he does. We get to see a shot of Black Panther flying his own Quinjet to the facility. It's no stranger that being the king of Wakanda, this dude's got some money. As I do kind of explain in my After Credits Explained video, be sure to give that video a check too, because you'll get to see what happens in the after credits of this film in case you missed it, or you just want a refresher on it. So after Zemo arrives to this facility, then Captain and Bucky Barnes arrive, then Iron Man arrives, then Black Panther arrives, sort of in the shadows, sort of in the background. We can find out that Zemo has not recruited these other 5 subjects to be his own killer hit squad. He's just killed them. He wants to kill anybody associated with the Winter Soldier program. And we get to find out his purpose. The Winter Soldier in Bucky Barnes was simply a pawn. He wanted to tear apart Iron Man and his team from the inside because of all the events that happened in Sokovia. Zemo, his father, his wife, and his son had all just escaped the city, so they thought they were out of harm's reach. Zemo even talked about how his son saw Iron Man and he loved that they could see Iron Man fighting. Well, it turns out they were still a little too close to the action, as it took 2 days for Zemo to find his father and his wife, clutching his son, as they were all dead, buried under tons and tons of just rubble and rock, while the Avengers just simply flew off. Zemo knew that he could not simply kill any of the Avengers himself. He needed them to kill themselves from within, and he nearly succeeds. So before Zemo leaves the facility, he shows Tony Stark the film footage from earlier in the movie that shows Bucky Barnes shooting at somebody's car and retrieving the blue blood, which I believe to be Kree blood, from the trunk. It was Howard Stark, Tony Stark's father. Bucky Barnes killed Tony Stark's father and his mother. Sort of a strange note I gotta point out. I hate to poke fun at such a serious note, but with the Batman vs Superman movie and this movie, it's just funny how the big shocking turn point has to do with mothers. Happy Mother's Day, everybody! Anyway, back to the movie. So the big shock is the video is being shown to Tony Stark that Bucky Barnes killed his father and his mother. And we got to see a very young CG Tony Stark at an MIT conference. And he talks about how he doesn't know what happened to his parents when they drove off. Well, we get our answer here. And that's what leads to Iron Man and Captain America fighting once again. After the huge, super emotional fight that takes place between Captain America, between Iron Man, this is when we get to see Bucky Barnes' arm get blown off as he tries to take apart Iron Man's arc reactor, and Iron Man just simply shoots the arm that's trying to take it apart, and it just blows off. Then the final climactic showdown between Captain America and Iron Man, and Cap gets the final blow. Cap gets the sort of, he didn't kill him, he gets the killing blow that takes out the arc reactor. Now his suit's powered down and he can't fight back. And he just walks off with Bucky Barnes over his shoulder. As Iron Man says, "You don't deserve the shield, my father invented that shield," to which Cap does oblige and he simply drops the shield at Iron Man's feet. That's where the fight ends. Now we get to see Baron Zemo back in the container that Bucky Barnes was originally in, as a shield agent tells him him, how does it feel to have all this happen and still to fail? To which Zemo replies, did it fail? So we will most likely see Zemo still play a part possibly in the Infinity Wars unless they do something in between now and the Infinity War movie. We finally get to see the Stan Lee cameo as he's dressed up as a FedEx guy and he delivers a package saying, "Are you Tony Stank?" To which Colonel James Rhodes replied, "Yep. Party for Stank. Party for one for Stank." Inside the package is a message from Captain America, from Steve Rogers. While Tony Stark reads this message, there's basically another shot of Captain America breaking out all his fellow comrades from the raft as he takes out all the guards. And it should be noted, he was not in his Captain America garb. It's unclear if he's actually dropping the mantle of Captain America and perhaps passing it on to somebody else. It'll be very, very interesting to see in the near future. In this message, he also drops off a very retro, like, flip phone. It just should be noted that it's not an iPhone. It's not a Samsung Galaxy. Just showing that Captain America is still Cap America. That's why we love you, Cap, with all your old school ways. And basically in the message, all it says is that if you need me, if you need us, I'll be there. So the team is not completely disassembled, but they have definitely gone their separate ways to a degree. So it is a house divided, and we'll see what happens if the events in Infinity Wars, when Thanos finally does arrive, is what brings this team together. But still very unclear at this moment. So that's basically everything I have in the ending. If there's anything I missed or you're not clear about, be sure to comment below and let me know. Let me know what you think of this video. And as always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because I'm always doing free giveaways. This is 5 Fingers with the Finger Bang Show. I'm out.
You chose the wrong side.